A man exits an apartment where a dead body has been found. He begins to walk down the stairs, but stops, quickly walks back up, nervously wipes down the door handle, assuming to remove his fingerprints, and police call the death a medical emergency. Or a vibrant young woman is discovered with 20 stab wounds to her chest, to her neck, to her spine, to her back, and officials rule her death a suicide. Or surveillance footage that could be capturing a killer mysteriously disappears during the exact moment when the death is taking place. And no one asks why. These aren't accidents. They're not coincidences. They're cover-ups. And if you think I'm exaggerating, the next 25 minutes will prove that our justice system isn't broken, it's rigged, or at the very least, extremely negligent. I'm about to show you 11 cases where police had evidence, had the suspects, and had every chance to get justice, but for some reason chose not to. By the end of this video, you'll never trust a police press conference again. This is Hidden Headlines, and I'm about to expose what they're hiding. First up, a case where the killer literally handed police a how-to guide for solving the murder, and they ignored it for 18 years. Construction workers with master keys to Jennifer Kesse's apartment had been sexually harassing her for weeks. She told her family she was nervous, kind of scared of them, and then she just vanished. Did police interview these men who had access to her home? No, definitely not. According to case files Jennifer's family had to sue to obtain, detectives questioned only a handful of the dozens of workers on site. Most were undocumented, working under fake names, and could vanish without a trace. Police cited the language barrier as a reason that they couldn't have more thorough or more plentiful interviews. But wait, it gets even worse. Police had surveillance footage of someone dropping off Jennifer's car the day she disappeared, and this person seemingly knew exactly where the cameras were, walking a route where fences blocked every angle of his face. This seemed to be planned. And instead of releasing this footage immediately to identify the suspect's height, his gait, or clothing, police sat on it for 48 hours. And by then, whoever this was had disappeared. And who did they focus on instead? Well, Jennifer's boyfriend, despite his rock-solid alibi. Think about this. A 24-year-old woman tells her family that men with keys to her apartment are threatening her. She disappears. Those same men are never properly questioned. That's not an investigation. That sounds like a cover-up. Jennifer Kesse has been missing for 18 years because police chose the wrong suspect from day one. The real killer? Well, he's been freed this entire time. Coming up, we're going to discuss DNA evidence that could have solved a case, but police waited 25 years to test it. And you won't believe what they found. February 14th, 2000, 9-year-old Asha Degree disappears from her North Carolina home during a thunderstorm. Multiple witnesses see her walking alone on the highway at 4 in the morning, completely out of character for a girl afraid of the dark. A truck driver stops to help. She runs into the woods. That should have triggered the biggest search in state history. Instead, the case went cold for 25 years. But here's what'll make your blood boil. In 2024, DNA evidence finally connected two suspects to items found with Asha's belongings. The technology existed for years. Police just didn't use it. And even worse, court documents from February 2025 reveal that investigators knew about a confession. Someone heard suspect Lizzie Dedmon Foster admit to killing Asha. They had a confession, and they still did nothing. Let me repeat that. Police had DNA evidence, witness testimony, and a confession, and Asha's family still had to wait 25 years for answers. So why the delay? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Missing black children don't get the same urgency as missing white children. Studies have proven it. Media coverage proves it. And Asha's case, well, it proves it. A 9-year-old girl walking alone in a storm should have been front page news for months. Instead, she just became another statistic. The evidence was always there. The technology, it existed. And a confession happened. But Asha Degree was failed by a system that didn't think her life was worth the effort.
Her name is actually pronounced Asha. Sorry about that.
In this next case, a husband tells police his wife's died, but can't produce a death certificate, funeral records, or even say where she's been buried. Police response? Nothing. They do nothing. On June 20th, 2019, Angela Green argues with her daughter and then disappears forever. When the daughter asks where her mother is, Angela's husband, Jeffrey, spins an incredible story. Angela died of a stroke. She was cremated, and the ashes are in his possession. But he won't show the death certificate, and he can't say which hospital she died at. And he refuses to reveal where the funeral was held. He asks his daughter to keep her mother's death secret from the rest of the family. I mean, why would anybody do that? Any rational person would be suspicious, right? But it gets worse. When the daughter finally investigates, she discovers there is no death certificate, no hospital record, no funeral home involved, nothing. So that's when she calls the police. Jeffrey immediately changes his story. Now he claims Angela just ran away with a friend. Let's review the red flags that police chose to ignore. A man claims his wife died, but can't prove it. He refuses to answer basic questions about her death. He asks family to keep it a secret, and then when questioned, he completely changes his story. Angela left behind her driver's license, passport, purse, and her keys. There's no record of her traveling anywhere. Despite lies so obvious a child could spot them, no arrests have been made, and Angela Green has been missing for over 5 years, while her husband just walks free. This isn't incompetence, this is willful ignorance. The next case features doorbell footage so damning it should have solved a murder in 24 hours. Instead, police called it natural causes. In November 2022, police find Johnny Cashman dead in his apartment and immediately call it a medical emergency. The medical examiner agrees. Gastrointestinal bleeding, case closed. Johnny's family, trusting the experts, had him cremated. 10 days later, Johnny's girlfriend enters his apartment and sees what police somehow missed. It's a gruesome scene. Blood splattered on walls, smeared on chairs, staining door frames. This wasn't a medical emergency. It was a slaughter. But here's the smoking gun. She spoke to a neighbor who had doorbell camera footage showing Johnny entering his apartment healthy and happy. Minutes later, you hear a man's voice scream, "What are you doing? Stop!" Then, a few minutes after that, a stranger exits Johnny's apartment, looks around nervously, starts down the stairs, then pauses, goes back up the stairs, wipes down the door handle, and then leaves. So you just watched someone destroy evidence at a murder scene. Police response? Nothing. They never even spoke to any neighbors or reviewed the footage. I mean, not for a while, not until after his body had already been cremated. But long term, they've never called it a homicide. They never filed charges. By the time Johnny's girlfriend saw the blood-soaked apartment, it was already too late. The body was cremated, the scene had been contaminated, and evidence was gone. Here's what happened. Police saw a dead body and immediately just made an assumption. They didn't look for evidence because they decided no crime had occurred. Johnny Cashman's killer is walking free because police chose not to investigate a murder that was quite literally nearly caught on camera. I'm gonna show you the video just so you can see how insane this was.
Dude, what the fuck? Stop, what are you doing? Yo, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? Stop. 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 Help! Help! Help!
Crazy, right? Ugh. Okay, the next case I'm about to show you involves a 14-year-old girl who was punished for reporting sexual assault, then murdered, and the system had just abandoned her. Maybe they abandoned her long before that. Emily Pike called 911 to report a sexual assault. She was only 14 years old. But instead of getting justice, tribal leaders punished her by sending her 100 miles away to a group home. She was isolated from her family when she needed them the most. January 27th, 2025. Emily runs away from the group home. But there was no Amber Alert, no urgent search. They didn't even let her family know that she was missing. 3 weeks later, Emily's dismembered body is found stuffed in contractor trash bags along Highway 60. Her hands had been cut off, and her cause of death, blunt force trauma to the head. Her mother learns her daughter is dead from a leaked police memo that nobody was even supposed to see outside of the department. So let that sink in. A 14-year-old girl reports sexual assault, gets punished instead of protected, then goes missing for weeks without anybody caring or notifying her family for days. And her mother finds out that she's dead from a document that wasn't ever supposed to reach her, a gruesome document. At this point, the FBI is offering $75,000 for information. No arrests have been made in this case. Emily Pike represents every failure of our system. Punished for reporting sexual assault, isolated from family support, ignored when she went missing, forgotten until her body was found. She's now another statistic in the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls crisis, a crisis that claims lives because society doesn't value Indigenous women. Emily Pike didn't just die. She was abandoned by every system that was put in place meant to protect her. You might be thinking these are just individual failures, bad cops having bad days. But what I'm about to show you proves this is systematic. When evidence disappears, organs just vanish, and surveillance footage gets corrupted at the exact moment of death, you're not looking at incompetence. You're looking at deliberate obstruction of justice. The next cases will show you how far the system will go to protect its own, even if it means letting killers walk free among us. The next case I'm going to talk about features missing organs that were replaced with newspaper and surveillance footage that was deliberately destroyed. This isn't just botched police work, it's a conspiracy. On July 11, 2013, 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson is found dead inside a rolled-up wrestling mat at his Georgia high school. Police claim that he fell in trying to grab a shoe and suffocated. But Kendrick's face shows severe blunt force trauma. It's swollen, it's bruised, and when his family views the body, they discover something horrifying. His organs are missing. They've been replaced with newspaper. And their surveillance footage, it's been deliberately corrupted. CNN hired FBI consultant Grant Fredericks to analyze 290 hours of footage from the high school. His conclusion, the surveillance video has been altered. There are files that are corrupted because they've not been processed correctly. But here's the smoking gun. 2 cameras in the gym are missing exactly 1 hour and 5 minutes, ending at 1:09 when Kendrick enters, and another pair missing 2 hours each, resuming at 1:15 and 1:16, respectively. This wasn't equipment failure. This was evidence destruction. The official story requires believing Kendrick fell headfirst into a vertical mat, couldn't escape despite being a superb athlete. No one heard him struggling in a busy school. The mat didn't tip over. His organs mysteriously disappeared during an autopsy, and that multiple cameras malfunctioned at the exact moment of death. 2 independent autopsies concluded Kendrick died from blunt force trauma, not from suffocation like the original report said. Officials' response: double down on the accident theory. When footage disappears and organs vanish, you're not looking at negligence. You're looking at a cover-up to protect somebody powerful. And there was somebody powerful who was friends with 2 brothers that were friends or feuding, former friends with Kendrick at the time. But we're not even going to really get into that. Kendrick Johnson was murdered, and the evidence was systematically destroyed to hide the truth. Coming up, I'm going to discuss an 8-year-old girl that was kidnapped or given by her mother to a janitor for weeks, while school officials ignored obvious red flags, and what happened next will haunt you. 8-year-old Relisha Rudd lives in Washington, D.C. homeless shelter. Her mother allows janitor Khalil Tatum to take her for doctor's appointments. The school receives fake medical notes written by the mother for weeks. No one questions why a janitor is taking a child to medical appointments. Think about that. Adults whose job is protecting children watched a maintenance worker repeatedly take an 8-year-old girl and never asked why. When a counselor finally tries to contact Dr. Tatum, the truth explodes. Surveillance footage shows Relisha with Tatum at hotels. Days later, he's caught buying lime, trash bags, and a shovel. Classic body disposal supplies. But before police can arrest him, Tatum has already killed his wife and then a week later killed himself. Relisha was never seen again. This case is devastating because so many people could have saved her. School officials should have verified the medical notes. She was missing for weeks. Shelter staff should have questioned the appointments or outings that this 8-year-old had with the janitor. Any adult should have found that suspicious, but they all looked the other way. Relisha Rudd vanished in plain sight while every adult responsible for her safety chose ignorance over action. An 8-year-old girl died because the system that was supposed to protect her decided not to see what was right in front of them. The next case shows what happens when police investigate their own family members. Spoiler alert, evidence gets destroyed, conflicts of interest are just ignored, and there is no justice. On May 19th, 2016, 26-year-old Christian Hopson is found dead with a gunshot to the head in the bedroom of Kirk Land, son of Deputy Sheriff Adam Land. Officials immediately rule it suicide. But Christian was right-handed, and the gun was in her left hand. She and Kirk had a history of domestic violence. That day they argued at a motel. Kirk had visible scratches on his neck. Christian left without her purse, her phone, or her keys, allegedly, and was never seen alive again. The official story? Christian, with blood alcohol 3 times the legal limit, somehow scaled a fence, broke into Deputy Land's house, found his service weapon, and shot herself with her non-dominant hand. Do you believe that? Well, here's where it actually gets really criminal. Despite obvious conflicts of interest, local deputies who knew Deputy Land personally processed the scene. The lead evidence technician was Sergeant Weaver. She was actually Kirk's ex-wife. She swabbed him for gunshot residue, collected his phone, and actually drove Christian's car to be processed. Texas Rangers eventually took over the case, but continued allowing county deputies full access. Evidence remained with the department that had the deepest ties to the main suspect. Some evidence was later burned by Deputy Land, who claimed that it smelled, and he had to get rid of it. A handwritten note near Christian's body expressed hope for the future, not suicidal despair. And then 2 shell casings suggested 2 shots were fired, not 1. Yet the scene was cleaned hours after Christian's body had been removed. When law enforcement investigates its own family, this is the result. Evidence disappears, conflict of interests are ignored, and the truth gets buried with the victim. Christian Hopson's case wasn't botched, it was deliberately sabotaged. This next case proves that sometimes the most dangerous time for a missing person is when police decide they don't want to look for them. June 27, 2000. 16-year-old lifeguard Molly Bish is dropped off for work by her mother. The day before, her mother noticed a strange man in a white car watching Molly work. She reported it to police, but when Molly disappears the next day, you'd think police would immediately connect these incidents and launch an urgent search. Instead, they wait for hours. They wait hours to even let the family know that she's missing. By the time they start looking, crucial evidence is gone. Fresh tracks are erased, witnesses' memories are fading, and security footage is overwritten. Molly's belongings were found at her lifeguard post, but she's vanished. Her remains are discovered 3 years later. Her killer was never found. But here's the brutal truth. The delay in response likely cost investigators their only chance of solving this case. When a teenage girl disappears and there's been a suspicious person reported 24 hours earlier, minutes matter. Every hour police waited was an hour the killer used to cover his tracks. Molly Bish might be alive today if police had treated her disappearance with the urgency that it desperately deserved. Instead, those lost hours became 24 lost years, and a killer remained free to potentially claim more victims. A 23-year-old's car is found running with keys in the ignition in a high-crime area Police response, they don't even tell her family for days. So it's December 18th in 2011. 23-year-old Phoenix Coldon leaves her St. Louis home in broad daylight and simply vanishes. Hours later, her car is found in East St. Louis. There's conflicting reports on this, but some say that the engine was running, the keys were in the ignition, and there was a door open. And instead of processing the car as evidence in a missing persons case, her car was instead impounded. Here's the killer detail. Police don't even notify Phoenix's family that the vehicle's been found. By the time her parents discover the car was impounded, days have passed and the trail is ice cold. The car should have been the centerpiece of the investigation. Instead, it sits exposed while security cameras overwrite footage and evidence disappears. Phoenix didn't fit the runaway profile. She had a college education, a stable family, future plans, and the driver's seat of her car was pushed back like someone else had been driving. The steering wheel was wiped clean. Phoenix's father said it perfectly. If this was a little blonde girl, they would have turned the city upside down. Studies prove he's right. Missing white women get 7 times more media coverage than missing black women. Phoenix Coldon remains missing because police didn't treat her disappearance as urgent. Her case was quietly closed in 2018 despite family objections. Another missing black woman written off by a system that didn't value her life even enough to try. And the next case involves a woman found dead after a Bumble date, but police let the man she was with walk away without questions. Guess what her race was? December 2021, 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields goes on a Bumble date. She's found dead in her apartment the next morning. Police immediately call it an overdose and let the man she was with walk away. No questioning as a suspect, no rape kit, no urgency. The family isn't notified for 2 days. When toxicology reports finally come back, the levels aren't high enough to cause an overdose. There's blood on the sheets and a condom wrapper near her body, potential evidence that's totally ignored. Private investigators raise concerns about possible suffocation. Officials dismiss these without any follow-ups. Here's the question that exposes everything. Would police have moved this fast to close the case if a white woman died after a date with a black man? I don't really think so. The answer's pretty obvious. Lauren Smith Fields deserved a real investigation, not assumptions based on her race. Her case shows how quickly justice dies when police decide they already know what happened before even examining the facts. And this last one is probably the one that's the most difficult for me to understand how it happened. So there's a woman with 20 stab wounds and it's just called a suicide? I don't know. January 2011, 27-year-old teacher Ellen Greenberg is found dead, stabbed 20 times, including wounds to her chest, the back of her neck, her back, and spine. The medical examiner rules it a homicide, obviously. Then, after closed-door meetings with police, the rulings mysteriously changes to suicide. Let me be clear about what officials are asking you to believe. Ellen somehow stabbed herself 20 times with enough force to penetrate her spine, including wounds to the back of her neck that are physically impossible to self-inflict. Forensic experts like Dr. Sarah Wetch reviewed the evidence, and she found inconsistent with suicide. In February 2025, the original pathologist publicly admitted it should not have been ruled a suicide. But here's the cover-up. The crime scene was compromised before homicide detectives even arrived. Somebody had moved Ellen's body. The apartment was cleaned and critical evidence was destroyed. Recent court documents reveal a judge with ties to Ellen's fiancé took items from the scene before police searched it. Ellen's parents have fought for 14 years while the system protects whoever really killed their daughter. 20 stab wounds don't happen by accident. Someone with power wanted this case closed quickly and just buried. Until that changes, Ellen Greensburg murder remains another example of justice denied through willful corruption. I'm going to let you listen to the recording of her fiancé who found her calling 911, and we'll see what you think.
Help, I need a emergency now. I just walked to my apartment. My fiance's on the floor with blood everywhere.
What is the address?
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please come. Help.
4601.
Now. Flat Rock Road.
Is this a house or apartment?
Oh no. Oh no. It's an apartment.
What apartment number?
603.
Apartment 603.
603. Please, Harry, please.
Where is she bleeding from?
I don't know. I can't tell. She's.
No, sir, you have to calm yourself down in order to get you some help.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm looking at her right now. I can't see anything. There's nothing broken. She's bleeding. Ellie.
You don't know where she's bleeding from? Can't tell
Ellie.
where the blood's coming from?
I think her head. I think she hit her head, But it's everywhere.
Okay, sir,
it's everywhere.
You think she might have fallen? Do you know what happened?
She may have slipped. There's blood on the table. Her face is a little purple.
Okay, hold on for rescue for her. Stay on the phone.
Fire Department 842. What's the address? No,
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please, Harry.
4601 Flat Rock.
Yes.
What's wrong?
I went downstairs to go work out. I came back up. The door was latched. My fiance's inside. She wasn't answering. So after about a half hour, I decided to break it down. I see her now, just on the floor with blood. She's not responding.
Okay, is she breathing? Look at her chest. I need you to calm down, and I need you to look at her chest. It's really.
I really don't think she is.
Listen to me. Someone's on the way. Look at her chest. Is she flat on her back?
She's on her back. Do I bring her?
Look at her chest and tell me if it's going up and down, up and down.
I don't see her moving.
Okay. Do you know how to do CPR?
I don't.
Okay. I can tell you what to do. Okay, until they get there. I want you to keep her flat on her.
God.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, okay.
Are you willing to do CPR with me over the phone until they get there?
I have to, right?
Okay, so get her flat on her back, bare her chest, okay? You want to rip her shirt off.
Oh, shit.
Okay, you need to kneel down by her side.
Oh, my God. Ellie, please.
Listen, you can't freak out, sir, because you
Okay, I'm trying not to. Her shirt won't come off. It's a zipper. Oh, my God, she stabbed herself.
Where?
She fell with a knife. Oh, no, her knife's sticking out.
Her what?
There's a knife sticking out of her heart.
Oh, she stabbed herself?
I guess so. I don't know where she fell on it. I don't know.
Okay, well, don't touch it.
Okay, so I just let her down here now? I mean, what do I do?
No, I mean, you can't. If the knife is in her chest, it's going to be kind of hard for you to do CPR at this time.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Police, which operator?
277.
Is someone coming here?
Yes, they are. You said 4601 Flat Rock, right?
Yes.
Okay, someone's on the way. And the knife is still inside?
Wait, so what?
The knife is still inside of her?
Yes, I didn't take it out.
Was it her chest or what area?
It's in her chest. It looks like it's right in her heart.
Okay, someone's on the way out there. Okay, just get.
Oh my God! Okay,
how old is she?
She's 27.
27, and there's no sign of life at all.
No, please don't be. What?
Pinch her under her arm and tell me if she responds to pain.
Ellie. She's not. Her hands are still warm. I don't know what that means, but there's blood everywhere. I mean.
I know, but you can't, and the knife is still inside of her. How far? Can you see how far it went in?
It looks pretty deep.
Okay.
It looks it's a long knife.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah, don't touch anything, okay?
I'm not touching anything. I can't believe this, though.
So wait, it was just you there with her?
We're the only ones here.
And she ran in the door, you said latched it shut?
No, I went downstairs to work out, and when I came back up, the door was latched.
Oh.
Like, it was, it wasn't like it was, it was like locked from the inside, and I'm yelling. So I'm
was
yelling.
Your house broken into?
No.
So there's no sign of a break-in?
No sign of a break-in at all. I mean, there will be when you get here because I had to break the latch, but to get in.
Okay, 4601 Flat Rock, and this is a house, right?
It's an apartment. Apartment 603.
Okay, that'll help. Apartment 603.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Yeah, it's totally insane. And he was never considered a suspect because it was never considered a murder. I mean, it's crazy. But here's what we just proved. Police can sit on crucial surveillance footage while killers escape. They can ignore obvious lies that a child could spot. They can watch doorbell footage of someone destroying evidence and call it natural causes. They can punish sexual assault victims and ignore them when they're murdered. They can destroy surveillance footage and replace organs with newspaper. They can let family members investigate their own relatives. They can wait hours to search for missing children while evidence disappears. They can close cases based on race rather than facts. And they can change murder rulings to suicide in secret closed-door meetings. This isn't a few bad cops. This is a systematic failure. When missing persons of color get less attention, we're deciding whose lives matter. When evidence disappears to protect the powerful, we're enabling murder. When police investigate their own families, justice becomes impossible. Jennifer, Asha, Angela, Johnny, Emily, Kendrick, Relisha, Christian, Molly, Phoenix, Lauren, and Ellen, they weren't just failed by individual officers. They were betrayed by a system designed to protect some people and abandon others. Their families didn't just lose loved ones, they lost faith in justice itself. And until we demand accountability for these failures, this list will just keep growing. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And if this upsets you like it does me, maybe subscribe and share this video. These stories need to be told because the system sure isn't going to be telling them. The victims deserve justice, their families deserve answers, and we deserve a system that actually works when we need it to. Which case shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Caroline, and this is Hidden Headlines. I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.